Hello learners! In my previous videos, I have discussed the lesson 1 and 2 for the module 1 in quarter 2. So today, I am going to discuss the last module, which is about desires and values. So when we say desires in Filipino, it means mga pagnanais, while values means mga halaga. So now, please get your module 2. The learning competency that we are going to discuss today is to analyze literature as a means of understanding and changing values in the VOCA, which means volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous world. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to, the first one is to identify the underlying message of the text. Number two is to demonstrate understanding of the text by answering different activities. And the last one is to relate the message of the text to real life situation. So now open your module 2 on page 1 and go to Let Us Try. So we will begin this lesson with a series of questions. No need to panic. Just be yourself and answer honestly. Okay, number 1. Would you rather be on performing or in watching? Just for example, if you are in the school, do you want to perform in front of your classmate or do you want just to be the audience? Number 2. Would you rather be an athlete or an artist? Do you like playing sports or doing arts? For number 3, would you rather be with your family or with your friends? Yes, which do you prefer? Spend time with your family members or spend time with your friends? The next one, would you rather be working with others or by yourself? Which do you prefer? Working in a group or working alone? And would you rather be healthy but poor or terminally ill but very rich? And the last one, in this time of pandemic, would you rather go out to enjoy or stay at home to save lives? So you and I, we make decisions every day, right? Some of them are easy to make, but others would require a lot of thinking, like in this new normal. Sometimes it's hard to decide whether we want to enjoy with our friends or just stay at home in order to protect ourselves and the people around us from the virus, right? So nevertheless, our choices are important because it shapes us and our values. On a separate sheet of paper, you are going to answer one question above. Your explanation should not be less than 30 words. On page 2 of your module 2, you could see the text entitled The Four Desires. So this text is basically about guiding us through a unique process to help us identify our intentions and to overcome self-defeating ideas and behaviors. And this will also help us to recognize our soul's purpose. So this text will help us understand the main purpose of our lives. And also in this text, it was mentioned that yoga is the path to find fulfillment in not one but two realms, the spiritual and the worldly. So your soul longs to find the peace born from merging with your source. So this training is about the yoga of life, helping you to rediscover meaning and purpose. So the training is interactive, challenging, and focused on connecting to the inner self that can lead you toward lasting and fulfillment freedom. So basically, the four desires will also discuss the benefit of doing yoga. So this yoga could help us to get the freedom and also the fulfillment that we want in our life. The four desires is based on the ancient insight that your soul has four distinct desires, which are the following. The first one is the Dharma, the desire for purpose, the drive to become who you are meant to be, or basically it talks about your goal in life, like the things that you would like to achieve, your career path. The number two is the artha, or the desire for the means to prosper materially, especially about health, security, and finances. For the number three is the kama, or the desire for pleasures like intimacy, beauty, and love, such as your relationship with someone. And for the number four is the moksha, or the desire for spiritual fulfillment and lasting freedom, such as your religion. So the journey of learning to fulfill these four desires is how each of us creates our unique path to lasting happiness, and at the same time, how we each achieve our most vibrant, creative, and meaningful contribution to the world. So in other words, achieving these four desires will help us lead to a long-lasting happiness and freedom that we have been longing for. But of course, not all desires lead to happiness. Yes, as what the saying goes, some things are not meant for us. So desires can and do lead to pain and frustration. However, according to the ancient tradition, it is attachment to desire, not desire itself, that is the underlying cause of practically all of our pain and suffering. So it's vital to understand that while you are all alive, there is no end to desire. Since the seed of your every thought and your every action is a desire. So thus, when it comes to desire, it's not a matter of avoiding desire, but rather learning to discern those desires that are helpful and necessary for your growth, those that serve your soul and help you continue to thrive, from those that do not. So the critical question when it comes to desire is, how do you differentiate what Buddha referred to as wholesome from unwholesome desires, or what the yoga tradition describes as helpful desires from simply pleasant desires? So in other words, sometimes there are desires that we would like to achieve, but unfortunately, it's not meant for us. So sometimes we fail. But according to the text, as long as we are living on this earth, we should continue getting or thriving to achieve our desires in life. So after reading the text about the four desires, you are now ready to answer the task 1 on page 4. So answer the following questions pertaining to the selection you just read. So make sure your answers are not less than 30 words. So the number 1 is, what is the relevance of yoga to one's ultimate aims? So you are going to explain how important yoga in achieving our goals in life. Number 2, what are the benefits that we can derive from yoga? Yes, what can we get from doing yoga? Number 3, based on the text, how can we live our best life? So you are going to explain what are the things that we can do in order to achieve the happiness that we really want in our life. Okay, for number 4, so you are going to accomplish the table that you can see on page 5 of your module 2. So what are the desires that need to be encouraged? And what are those that need not? So for the box 1, desires to be encouraged based on the text. Which desire do you think is the most important? For the box 2, desires need not to be encouraged. So which among the 4 desires you think is the least important? Then below the first box and the second box, it says why. So you are going to explain why you chose this certain desire or desires. For the number 5, so why is it important to know these desires? So you as a student, why do you think that you have to know your desires in life? What is the main purpose of knowing and understanding our desires? On page 5 to 6 of your module 2, you can see let us practice. So in this part, you are going to find out how you have understood the article. So fill out the 3-2-1-1 chart below. So for the 3, so list 3 things you found out. So after reading the text, what have you found out? Then for the 2 interesting things you discover, so what do you find interesting about the text, the 4 desires? So you can list 2 things. And 1 question you still want to ask. So if there are some confusions about the article, so what would you like to ask? And for the last one is 1 issue you have discovered from the text. So you're going to choose which do you think has significant impact for you when it comes to the issue. For the next activity, it's let us practice more. So take a picture or draw an object that is important to you. So when we say object, it's a kind of thing. Yes, so choose an object that reveals something about you. So explain why this is important to you in a 100-word essay. So you may write this and attach the picture or drawing or do your explanation in a 1 to 2 minute vlog. So you have 2 options for this activity. The first one is to draw or take a picture of your favorite thing, and then you are going to write or make an essay about it. And the second one, yes, choose a picture and then you're going to make a vlog and explain the importance of this picture to you. So outputs may be sent to your teacher's messenger account for the vlog. Meanwhile, essays can be submitted upon the return of your modules. After reading the text, the 4 desires, let us remember the text helped you realize that not all desires can lead you to good. Yes, some desires are not meant for us, so unfortunately, sometimes we may experience failures and disappointments. Also, we must learn what desires to act upon and remember the values that we uphold. So we need to have a focus on what desire we would like to achieve in ourselves. We all value different people and things for different reasons. Each person lives by different personal rules. In short, people are not the same. We are different. Being true to yourself is not always easy to do. When you have a clear idea of what you value, it becomes easier to be true to yourself. So it's very important that we have to know ourselves and our desires so that we could have a specific path on what to take. Remember that the things you value influence everything you do. At some point, you have to decide what you value and form your choices and decisions from those. So before making decision, you have to consider other options too, so that at the end you will have no regret about your or about what you have decided. With this, it is important to note that we must be respectful of what others value. So we should not interfere to other people's decision because as what mentioned in this passage, people have different goals and desires in lives. On page 7 of your module, let us assess. You are given different kinds of situation. So you are going to follow the trail of the story. After every prompt, answer the questions as to how you are going to respond to it. Do this on your answer sheet. So for the number 1, while camping, you were diagnosed with a very rare disease. You start to feel sick and your parents rush you to the hospital. Your doctor tells you and your family that you have a terminal illness and there is no available cure. Unsure of what to do, he advises you to take a good rest, give up one of your favorite activities. So if you are in this situation, what activity are you willing to give up for you to get better? And you need to give the reason why. For number 2, because you are sick, you were in the hospital for a while, and you must lose one of your goals since there is so little you can do while sick. So for this situation, you have to give up one of your goals in life and explain why. For number 3, because of hospitalization is expensive, your family is short of cash and has to give up one of your possessions. So among all the things or the properties that your family has acquired, which one do you think you have to give up so that they could pay for the bills in the hospital? And give the reason why. For the next situation, you are hospitalized once again, and your hospital bill is getting bigger and bigger. You have to give up another possessions. So for this situation, among all the things you have personal things that you have, which one you're willing to give up and why? For the last one, you are permanently hospitalized and tired of being sick. Also, two important people disappear from your life because you are no longer able to maintain relationships. So you are going to choose two people that you are willing to lose relationship with because of the situation, and why did you choose them? For the let us enhance part, you are going to explain. So do you agree with Art Buchwald that the best things in life aren't things? Explain in not more than 50 words. So you are going to write your answer in a one whole sheet of paper. You could also give some examples to support your ideas and in order to make your explanation more clear. For the reflection part, you are going to describe a decision you have made in your life and give details as to how this decision relates to your desires and personal values. So during your whole existence, what do you think is the most important decision you have ever made in your life? And what are the impacts of this decision to your personal values? So explain in a one whole sheet of paper. Thank you very much, dear learners, for joining me in this lesson, the module 2. So this is the last module for this quarter, and I think you are now ready for the quarter 3. So always remember that is in this new normal, we must continue learning, and always remember to follow safety health protocols when going out. So always wear your masks and face shields and avoid social gathering, and you have also to maintain social distancing. So have a good day and enjoy. Bye.